Hey guys, it's Car Guy 11. I'm super excited to have the only member of the GR family I haven't reviewed yet, and that is the GR Corolla behind me. And this is a 2025 manual. It did get some small changes, and they offered the auto for this year as well. So we're gonna check it out and see how it drives and see if it lives up to the GR name. All right guys, so let's take a drive in the GR Corolla. And this model is the Premium Plus model, which is the top model for 2025. So they no longer have the Marizo edition without the rear seat. They all come with that. In addition, on this Premium Plus model, you do get the vented hood, which looks pretty cool. This unfortunately no longer has the rear wing, but I'm sure you can get that as an accessory. And there are 18-inch wheels all the way around, 235 width, Michelin Pilot Sport S tires. And again, on this trim, you get the matte black wheels. All right, just getting started here. I am in sport mode and in the track mode for the all-wheel drive system. And the all-wheel drive system is adjustable, but there is a change for 25, and let me explain that in this clip here. So in the 2025, the all-wheel drive system no longer has set front-rear bias on the different driving modes. But as you can see, if you have the all-wheel drive display up, in normal mode, it is still front biased. If I floor it in that mode, I'll go ahead and change it to gravel, which is the 50-50 mode, and you can see it is front and rear equal. And then I'll go ahead and put it in the track, and you can see the rear bias in track mode. So still pretty cool, and still very much like the pre-25 models. It is slightly more variable for 2025. And some other changes for 2025, the engine now makes a little bit more torque. So it's 300 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque. You can get the auto transmission as well, as I mentioned earlier. The front end is styled a little bit differently. Now this Premium Plus trim also includes an extra cooler up front, and this top Premium Plus model does have that carbon fiber roof with no sunroof, and all of the 25s get the front and rear torsion limited slip differential standard, which is awesome. The other modes, there is an eco mode and normal mode and a custom mode. But yeah, you can really feel that torque. And it's pretty quick. It's pretty quick. I have to say it is quicker than the GR86. 0 to 60 is in a low 5-second range. So this falls right in between the GR Supra and GR86. Now steering feel isn't as good as the GR86. You also get rev matching, auto rev matching if you push this IMT button on the console here. I'm gonna try to take some curvier roads. But yeah, I floored it on that left turn, but I love how this car doesn't feel front wheel drive. You really do feel the all-wheel drive system working. I am in that track mode, which does push that power, more rearward bias. But of course, this is a 3-cylinder turbo engine. The turbo lag isn't all too bad. You definitely feel it at the bottom end of the rev range, but it is geared fairly short, so you're not in that lag very often. And you can really hear the turbo whistle. Hopefully you can hear that in the camera. There is a boost gauge on the dash here, and the dash is very configurable. So many options actually. Different views, and attack is also different when you put it into that sport mode. It becomes a bar graph instead of the circular dial. And it is a 7,000 RPM redline on this 1.6 liter 3-cylinder turbo, which is pretty cool. The exhaust also sounds pretty decent. And again, it's a 3-cylinder, so it doesn't sound as buzzy as a 4-cylinder. It almost sounds like a 6-cylinder. And I'll show you the exhaust clips here. The 6-speed manual is a very nice shifting as well. There's not a lot of play. Feels really good. Yeah, the rev matching is really cool, and it does it perfectly, even in first gear. But here's a tight corner here, down to second, and I'll punch it. Even does a little, at red line, it does that pop. Yeah, it handles beautifully though. This suspension is fixed, it's not adjustable. And it's really nicely calibrated. Very tight turn here. Yes, does excellent, excellent. But the ride isn't too bad either. It is sports car stiff, but it's not harsh. Even over some bad bumps, you know, it doesn't really shake the cabin. Like I said, the chassis rigidity is really good here, and that brace may be contributing to it. It does have an expert mode for the traction stability control, so I will put that on. It's available in sport mode only. And it did cut in a little bit there in that last corner, but I was really trying to push it. There's another very tight turn coming up. Yes, and it definitely helps the rear come around in that track mode. So very cool feature. I love how that's adjustable. Sport mode isn't all too much different, to be honest. You get a little bit tighter steering, a little bit quicker throttle response. Stop sign here. Brakes are very good as well. There are 4-piston up front, 2-piston in the rear. So this car weighs just under 300 pounds, which again puts it in between the GR86 and GR Supra. But again, it's all-wheel drive, and that's the only one that has all-wheel drive, which is nice, you know, especially if you're using this as an all year-round car, which you should, with some winter tires on, and you'll be great for the winter. And you can put it in that gravel mode, which splits it 50-50. So on this Premium Plus model, you do get the heated seats, heated steering wheel, which unfortunately is just the grips, not the top and bottom, but not too big a deal here. Dual climate control, auto. Also that wireless CarPlay and Android Auto with the new Toyota system head unit here. These seats are pretty nice as well, although there is no adjustable lumbar support, but they do hold you in well. And the red seat trim is only on this Premium Plus model. I will say, for me, the lack of a center console armrest is a bother. I don't know if that is an accessory option you might be able to get, but there's just a shelf here. And of course, Toyota Safety Sense 3.0 is standard, even on this manual. So let me show you how that works in this clip. And even though the GR Corolla is a manual, it still has Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, which includes adaptive cruise control with lane tracing. And it's working beautifully, especially on the highway here. I will show a clip in traffic. Of course, it's not going to come to a complete stop, but it's still useful in my opinion. And I'm just super happy it has it, and it works very well. The 3.0 system holds the lane, holds the center of the lane very well. And as you can see, it's going around this curve here. Very nice. In the center, no problems. not going over the lane lines. So unfortunately, the only GR model that doesn't have adaptive cruise with the manual is the GR Supra. The other GRs have it, the 86, and this one, of course. And this is how the adaptive cruise works in traffic coming to a stop. It will kick out at 15 miles per hour, and you just heard that little beep there telling you. It is pretty subtle, so you have to be aware, and of course you don't want to stall the vehicle, but I was in a gear high enough to not stall at 15 miles per hour. But I'm just glad to have it. Either way, I know it doesn't come to a complete stop, but good enough for me. And of course, you'll see that heads-up display on this top model that is included. Pretty nice to have. And this 3-cylinder does produce very good efficiency as well. I'm getting in the mid to high 20s in my week of driving. And this also meets what it says on the sticker. So very happy about that. So this fully loaded top of the line GR Corolla costs $48,000, which, you know, is a lot. Now they just do start right just under 40. This one has a rear brace option, and you can see that in the trunk. I'm not sure you'd want to get that option. It does limit your utility because it does block the trunk from the rear seats slightly. And this car feels very solid on its own. Now, I'm not sure. I haven't driven one without that brace, but maybe you want to add that as an aftermarket option if you desire. But yeah, it's a very fun car. So guys, tell me, which GR is best GR? And you know, I'm a little biased because I do have a GR Supra, which is the most expensive. And I think I still prefer that car the best. But, you know, this one is very fun as well. It gives you a little bit more practicality with the hatch, although it is pretty tight, and the rear seats are very tight, and the hatch is pretty small as well. But it does give you that all-wheel drive option. And the GR86 is the lowest price, it's the lowest weight. You know, that one is a ton of fun as well, lowest horsepower as well. So I don't know, it is a tough choice, to be honest. So tell me guys in the comments below which GR you prefer. But I'm just glad Toyota offers all of these GR models. So guys, hope you enjoyed this review. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.